Hey, Moab putting their bread everywhere.
Moab has gotten really rich off the back of the Northern Kingdom down in Central and South America.
Yep.
All right, real rich. They love benefiting off our people, man.
And another thing, Esau has it to where he'll have Jacob oppressing each other.
Yep.
Like when you go back to the times of slavery, there were certain areas where slavery was outlawed, but Esau would still find a way to put them in slavery anyway.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, when certain escaped slaves would run into another area where it was illegal for slavery to happen, you would have like Jacob run into another tribe, and they'll actually take the Jake in, and they'll like basically take care of him. Like, yeah, you could come here, you know what I'm saying? We'll give you some food, this and that, and the third. You can live amongst us, and then they get real cool with each other. And next thing you know, they give them a daughter to marry amongst. Like, it was like that. Because certain sects of history, people like to say, oh well, you know, you had Native Americans that was enslaving so-called black people. But yeah, but you don't understand that Esau was trying to force them to put Jacob in slavery. But when they actually did that, they wasn't actually doing it like Esau was doing. It wasn't the chattels, the same chattel slavery that Esau was.
You can't.
You know,
it was like slavery how we had in the ancient world where you let it.
The rule that they try to use Deuteronomy with indentured servants.
You would live amongst me to work off your debt, and if after that debt was paid, you could stay or you could, And
the same thing that happened to Laban and Jacob for the daughters. The debt was that he wanted to marry his daughter, Rachel. Well, when the 7 years was up, he still had Leah hadn't been married off, so he married her. So he worked another. So he was an indentured servant 14 years to get both of those daughters. With Laban. You got it.
Ecclesiasticus 33:30. And it reads, if thou have a servant, let him be unto thee as thyself, because thou hast bought him with a price. If thou have a servant, entreat him as a brother.
That's how we treated each other when they were when our people was working with us. You saw them do you that way. He do you in the harshest way possible.
For thou hast need of him as of thine own soul. If thou entreat him evil, and he run from thee, which way wilt thou go to seek him?
Hey, I'm gonna use that same example I was in Genesis 29th to 30th chapter about Jacob and Laban. Laban had daughters. He needed a man child, so to speak, or another man to take care of the of tilling them for the animals and so on and so forth. The daughters wasn't supposed to be out there doing that, so that's why he hired him to do it. That's what you hire a servant for. You need a man to go out there and take care of those type of things. While the daughters and the wives, that's why you always wanted to have sons, not only to pass your loin down, your seed down, but to also have another fellow laborer to work with.
Because now you can teach that man that craft. Because every Jake had a craft, whether it was carpentry, masonry, whether it was farming or herding cattle. Hey, we all had a business, because that's how families are ran. Families are micro businesses, man.
If you didn't, you didn't eat.
Exactly. Hey, whether you had a bunch of lambs, whether you had a bunch of cows, now you got things like milk, now you got beef. Every family was run as a business is ran. But with more helping hands of a male, that business can now extend into other parts of the land.
If your neighbor had 3 sons and you had 2 daughters, you might trade one of them sons and daughters for one of them sons to come over and help you till that land and get your business working. That was the you bartered and you negotiated those type of things like a real business would do.
Yep.
And like you said too, with say that the father that had the 2 daughters, hey, if he had a craft, he could show one of those sons from that other man, his business, man, his craft. And speaking on going back to what the brother was talking about, how the Northern Kingdom and the Southern Kingdom were basically intermingled. Hey, they showed you that within Birth of a Nation, man. The new one, when Nat Turner, he went into that forest or that those trees, and Gad was right there waiting for him, man.
Yeah.
Waiting to hear the plans. They also showed you in that the show with you know, Jussie Smollett's daughter. I mean, his sister. She
It was on regular TV. I forgot the name.
the girl on road bounce that had the braces.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a show on Hulu. I think it's called Runaway. And they show you in the show that Gad, she ended up leaving the Southern Kingdom Jakes that she was with, who she ran off the plantation with, and there was some Edomites that was trying to kill him on the boat. And they showed you in the scene how Gad ended up pulling up with rifles and was shooting at the Edomites with Jake, man, with the Southern Kingdom, man. So it shows you that we were always in unity, man. But hey, that's Esau just trying to put us against each other once again, man.
That's one of his tactics, divide and conquer.
Kind.
We share more in common with each other than anybody else on the planet.
Bro, whether it be hey, even when you look at the food and culture of Jake, man. Hey, cause everybody like Italian food, tomato sauce and things. But people don't understand that it wasn't Italians that created tomato sauce first. It was the Northern Kingdom. The Issachar created the tomato sauce base first, man. Hey, but when you look at things like corn being one of the top agricultural products of the three sisters, corn, beans, and squash. Look at the Southern Kingdom; it's the same foods used. Showing you just some of those translations of how we the same people, man.
Fried foods like fried chicken, fried meat. The Lord likes that smell, man.
Yeah, kind.
Leviticus the 2nd chapter. tells
Oil,
you that.
oil and meat with oil.
Cooked by fire.
Flour. Hey, flour, meat with flour, mingled with oil, that's
Fried chicken.
that's fried.
I want to bring out something real quick. This is dealing with this one, a book called Black Indians, A Hidden Heritage by William Lawrence Katz. And right here it says slavery in the 5 nations. The Choctaw, Chickasaw, Cherokee, Creek, and Seminole nations were early targeted by European merchants, missionaries, and government officials. And this is on page 150. Just because they readily accepted Christianity and European styles